Okay, so welcome everybody to our first meeting of the new year. And we've got a couple reports tonight. We have the building operations report and the rec report. We'll start off the meeting with those guys so they don't have to hang around for as long as we have to. So they can start and get her done, and may as well start with Mr. Martin.
Okay. You want to stand, sit here?
Wherever you feel comfortable doing.
Is Doug Johnson coming, do you
I'll
know?
get these.
I haven't heard from him.
You use your invisible microphone.
Yes.
It's very small. On the first smaller report, just wanted to go over a few things. It was a very busy month. It was a very busy end of the year, actually. We did get some truck upgrades, much appreciated. We got the tonneau cover and bed liner and yellow flashing light, which come in handy. We also got a new skidoo. Haven't been able to use it.
And that's a good thing.
Still haven't been able to use it. I thought I was going to get it today, but nope. Storm damage. Many trees in the trails down. Also, there was a lot more damage done to the rubberized trail from trees falling. We hadn't anticipated the branches stabbing through the trail when they would fall. Not sure what the extent of the damage is yet, because it has been covered under ice afterwards. Also, the big Christmas tree fell in both storms. The shed behind the center sustained a bit of damage. It's going to need a new roof, so a bunch of the shingles blew off of it. We'll need to be fixing the spring, but I put a tarp on it temporarily to keep water from getting in. David Bell Park gazebo has some damage as well. Somebody had picked up shingles and put them on the table underneath, and then I also observed the gutters one of them was torn almost completely off and the other one was damaged. Wondering if we actually need gutters on a gazebo, but I'll leave that up to you. HVAC system, I sourced filters and changed all the filters in the system since EG Stairs isn't doing it anymore. And I've refinished the floors overall with it. The second part of my report goes a little more in depth on the storm. So Monday, December 11th, we had heavy rainfall that sustained high winds that did some damage to the area. The following week, Monday, December 18th, we had a similar but stronger storm come through and it did significant damage. Taylor and I walked the trails and determined that there were approximately 200 to 300 trees fallen. This is more than I've ever seen, including Arthur in 2014. Again, the big Christmas tree out front was blown over in both storms, something that's never been seen before. December 20th, Alec, Taylor, and myself attempted to clean out as many trees as possible. And then we were to determine if we would be able to do the rest of the trail, which we did determine that wouldn't be feasible. It was just too much work. Wildwood did come in with a small machine and we're able to do it in about a day and a half. I'd love to have one of those. And again, I just reiterated about the gazebo at David Bell Park. That's it for me.
Yeah. Any questions for Dan? Yeah, Paul.
I'm just wondering if you want direction from council on any of these things?
In what sense?
Like in terms of you're asking about recommending burying the base for the big Christmas tree and...
Fixing
Most of that stuff's operational.
It's operational anyway, it's all operational.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking, so we don't need to deal with any of that, do we?
No.
Okay,
I don't think so.
perfect.
Do we have any word on relief for the storm?
I know Terry and Sherry put in a bill to
We
the
haven't
province.
put anything in yet, because it's not said that it's gonna happen yet.
Yeah.
So
But we're ready.
we have stuff compiled and it's all put into a, it's all ready to go if they do decide to do that.
So it wasn't a for sure thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
But we shall try if we can. If we get something back, great.
We're ready.
Okay.
Yeah, we're ready.
Perfect.
Okay, well, thanks, Dan. I'll move on to Taylor. He's got his recreation report ready to roll. Everybody's got copies, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm coming up with the chopping block here. Just so you
Yours
guys
is
can
longer.
see a little bit better. So for those who are new, when I put together my reports, what I try to do is kind of list all my ongoing projects. Anything highlighted in yellow is kind of the pertinent updates to them. I try to keep a little bit of history if there are any questions, and just so you guys can kind of understand where we've all gone. First part, they go in alphabetical order. So the bike park at Brookdale Recreation Park. So there hasn't been a ton of movement just due to weather. But we actually did get our first couple loads of gravel dropped off there yesterday. They were hoping to finish it today. Obviously, weather permitting, they couldn't get there. So I'm expecting those last few loads of gravel from Ryan tomorrow. At which point, when they get there, we'll kind of boulder off the entrances, so at least nobody can back a truck up in there. Not that I think anything would ever happen, but just to have that contingency in place. That was all that was for that. Realizing we haven't met since October, so Christmas Craft Show, I'm not sure if anybody had attended or not. We hosted that November 25th from 10 to 4. Megan handled registration and promotion. It was at $10 per table like it usually is. All 35 tables were sold. As Dan mentioned, there was significant damage within the park. And kind of my goal certainly this summer with the students will be lots of lugging, a lot of trees either into the woods or if there's any other way we can get that cleaned up. But, oh, Holly.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
on this right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, okay. I walked the trails the other day.
Yep.
And it is a complete mess, you're
That's-
right.
Yeah.
Like, it's
looks like a
unreal
road.
how many trees have come down, it's unbelievable. But my thought was, the students aren't gonna be able to really,
Also,
it.
could I add to that?
sure,
If we even haul trees out of there, where are we gonna put them? That's the bigger issue.
yeah, I think a plan needs to come out, because I really don't think the students are gonna be able to handle all of the mess that's in there. I
Yeah, there's
think
quite a bit
more-
of damage.
I think more needs to be done. So just something to know
Yeah.
that we can discuss later.
A lot of that stuff's gonna have to be chipped. We'll either have to buy a chipper, a big one, or rent a big one. Because the chipper, again, pick away at that, it'll do up quite a bit. But it's not it's a daunting task, and unless we hire it being done, it's gonna take a few years for locals to do it. And then the next year, you're gonna get more on top of that, and so on and
That's
so
the
on.
problem, it seems to be getting worse every year.
Well, it's old growth, like Chris was saying, old balsam firs, just any wind at all, down they come, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right, and some of the trees that are down are, a chipper won't be able to.
No, they're
handle.
too big.
It's
No,
just
they're too big.
impossible,
yeah,
it's way too big,
Yeah.
so. Okay,
So moving on from that, Spookfest, so we haven't, I guess, met since the event took place. Just as a refresher, we did have a small group of 4 volunteers this year kind of helping plan the event. Day of though, we did get some really generous support from other volunteers and they were a huge help. For a quick refresher, I've listed kind of what we did and what we hosted. Kind of the most important thing though is I would say in talking with that group and kind of debriefing and evaluating everything, we thought we had about 1,000 people come through. So again, another really positive turnout for that event. I will just emphasize though, there is a ton of work and planning and everything that goes into that. So, but I'll look after getting volunteers for that. So, handball sports. So a quick update on that. We're still in the process of trying to get rid of all those handball sports photos. Emails have gone out, so I'm just hoping parents will please come pick up their child's photos. But in the meantime, they're in my desk in a safe space. I have met with Basketball Canada to discuss the merits of a junior NBA program now, 2 or 3 times. There is going to be a little bit of work that's going to be needed to get that up and off the ground. Again, with a rec student this summer, I'm hoping they can help me with some of that lifting so we can kind of launch in the fall of 2024. now that we have gym space available and kind of expand our grassroots offerings for sports programs.
Tim, there's, apologies.
Yeah.
There's a organization in Moncton, I think it's a Moncton 508 basketball, isn't it?
Yep,
And I met the gentleman who started that.
yep,
I've actually got his, I don't know if you have his contact, I have his contact information.
yep.
And he's taken that and he's grown that basketball program by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, absolutely, and then that's something we can look into, for sure. And then, yeah, so kind of coming up in the next couple weeks, I'll have jersey orders for soccer, things like that, so that'll be ramping up again, but kind of the plan would be this summer to largely have a rec student kind of handle that, come to me for guidance and advice, but I think it's a great learning opportunity for the grassroots program. In terms of equipment, so late in the season, I did find a portable disc golf target that went on sale. Didn't do as much use really at the end of November, but again, it adds to kind of our loan program we have set up. So we have that equipment that'll be ready to go for spring, summer this year. Any of the material we purchased last summer, so our pickleball paddles and balls have all been moved over to HPA for the time being to service those 6 courts we have there.
I just want to,
Yeah.
disc golf, I just wanted to say, if you're not prepared, it is a year-round sport.
Okay.
Just a.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that stuff's moved over there. Then in the summer months, I'll make sure I move enough back over to service the courts we have outside our building. So the trail run. So there has been a few updates with that. Kind of confirmed with Yos over the past couple months. So he did launch his registration, and good news, it is completely sold out. So 125 individuals signed up and registered, myself included, to run on May 4th. It sold out in about a week. We did do a little bit of work, and he mapped out roughly 1.75 kilometers of just single track. Again, it was a very non-invasive procedure. No trees were cut, nothing was damaged. We raked the ground and leaf blowed some leaves away. We did take down the markings though, so nothing is visible to the public or anything like that. If somebody stumbles upon it, snowshoeing, can't do much about that. Like I mentioned, the event sold out 125. One thing I have included, just to try to monitor a little bit of some sport tourism stuff, I did include a brief demographic report of the 125 individuals registered, so you can see the distances people are traveling. We have people coming all the way from Halifax, but a lot of regional exposure as well within the greater Fredericton region.
That's awesome.
Taylor,
Yeah,
quick question. So it's taking place May 4th?
May 4th, yeah.
Okay, I was just confused because you said the launch on December 4th, 2024, so I was wondering if we were
Sorry,
doing
yes.
another one?
Nope, that was the registration.
Okay,
So
okay.
he launches all
So-
his races 5 months previous.
So it's 2023 then?
So yes,
Okay.
2023, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. So yeah, then an update probably on my biggest project, I would say over the past 6 weeks has been the MOU with the new school. I can't emphasize enough how much demand there is for that space. So we are plenty busy. With that, I know there has been the booking procedures and regulations document has been in front of council and approved. There are other accompanying documentation should anybody be curious, whether it's an application form, a schedule confirmation, general gym information. If you want to take a peek at it, just shoot me a message and I can happily send that off to you. Staffing wise, we did hire 4 part-time staff for the facility. They're all trained. There was certain policies and sign-offs we needed from the district, or they needed to get into the district. And then this week and next, I'm there with them each night, getting them oriented to the space, training them in the space. And it's a very fluid situation, pretty much daily. Either the district or the school kind of lets me know of some things we got to tweak, so it's extremely fluid. I'm working with the sport organizations the best I can to kind of keep everybody happy and make sure the space is getting used and shared fairly. Outdoor multi-purpose courts, so Upper Kingsclear, late in the season we did end up getting some lines painted. Big issue with that court is it's not a regulation size court by any means. The dimensions for that are actually 24 by 8 by 15.1. Your typical basketball court is going to be 28 by 15. So what this caused was kind of a warped court, but on the recommendation of Fulton Asphalt, they kind of did something very similar within the reserve, where they actually they put in 2 3-point keys with a half court line, and those really for the technical aspects of basketball are really what you need, just those 3-point keys. But we also got a full-size pickleball court painted there as well. One thing to note, actually, that I had not noted previously, while they were there, they did show me that the 2 nets we have there are not centered to the court. So I told them to paint the lines true to the center of the court, and we'll deal with the basketball nets at a later date. I know one of them isn't really in the ground. So.
I know what happened there.
You do?
Yeah, that was tore up 2 years ago
Oh, okay.
and redid,
Yeah.
so redone, whatever, and then it probably,
Got it.
they never laid it out properly in
Yeah.
the center of the,
Yep. No worries.
but it was a multi-use thing because it was set up for bike.
Yeah, question, actually, we skipped over because it wasn't really an update to it, but the basketball nets out there, the height issue,
Yeah.
it's still being worked, or?
That's still being worked, so we believe we have a possible solution. It's just trying to find alignment and mind Dan's schedule to get out there and get that put up. What we did is we bought, 4x6 inch, 1/4 inch steel?
5x9.
5x9, yeah. And so what we're able to do there is drill holes into that steel that will actually, in theory, be able to drop that rim those 5 inches and get us closer to that 10-foot mark on the dot.
Still got a bit of engineering to do first though.
We've got lots of time, nobody's using the basketball court
No,
now
it's not
anyways.
much, yeah.
And this fall has been so busy with everything else,
Yeah.
I just haven't had time to touch it.
They're way high, right? So,
Yeah.
Quickly, I'll touch on Remembrance Day. I think program-wise and everyone we had there, it was a really nice ceremony. Again, the emphasis will need to be placed for next year on a new sound system or speaker system. Heard the same general comments with our tree lighting.
Yeah, working on it.
As well. Yep, perfect. Ski and snowshoes. So I've begun inventory and monitoring the equipment for wear and tear. Frostival in Fredericton, I believe, launched this week. So I've received 2 or 3 emails today alone on our ski and snowshoe rental, so there is demand. I'll have to go check the trails out and see I don't think we have enough snow yet to really launch that. But as soon as we do, I'll put a post out to our recreation page and let folks know they can begin to sign those out. Last but not least, so equipment. So we have purchased, we have 6 pickleball nets, 24 pickleball paddles, and enough balls to service all pickleball courts. At the gym, we also bought 24 badminton rackets, accompanying shuttles. The school provides us use to the badminton nets and volleyball nets. And we are still waiting on, so there's been a little bit of a supply chain issue, and there's a few things have been on back order. I was told today, though, by Jason that an order was placed for all our volleyballs and our ball cards. So again, just equipment we need for our community use room. Basketballs, for whatever reason, are out of stock pretty much everywhere you look, but I am working to get those, and once I get the majority of my equipment in, we will be launching open gym for the community, so there will be an opportunity for residents to sign up for a core or whatnot, and get some people in to the gym space. So that's all I have. If anybody has any questions, let me know.
That's great, Tim.
Well, thanks, guys, appreciate it. Very informative report as usual, so it certainly brings council up to date so we know what's going on. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, enjoy the rest of
Thanks,
your day.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so now we'll just turn things over to Sherry. I know Doug Johnson was supposed to be here to talk about
He's supposed to be here.
tax levy, but
I'm not sure what happened. I did send him a message saying that we may move it to online, but I didn't tell him we weren't. We were, so I'm not sure what the issue is. So I will contact him tomorrow. And maybe he pulled into the driveway and saw holy smokes and pulled back out. So I'll contact him tomorrow. He can always present next Wednesday. Okay, so number 3. So we're gonna quickly go through this. You guys have had the notes. You've read the notes. If you guys want to go through line by line, you can, but I think we can probably skip over a lot of it. If you have any questions, just ask. So we're going to page 2. Any questions, and I'll try to answer.
Nothing for me.
Based on the updates. So yes, the siding was, samples are provided, we're just waiting for the testing, so.
So what, they're testing see what else I can put on it. I think I read it.
They're testing a new product
New
to
product.
fix the siding, right? And realistically, again, that's not something we can do till spring anyway. We're not gonna be doing this in the winter, so everything's kind of pushed until
Yeah.
it gets warmer.
Okay. Well, the scouts finally signed up.
Yep, the scouts, so land acquisition, so it's been signed. So hopefully we'll receive the documents in the next week or so. Hopefully, we'll see.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to dig back, but this was prior to Candace and Chris and I
Yep.
coming forward. Size, property of the lot, or what's?
10
that's-
10 acres?
10 acres.
Yeah, it's 10
That was
acres.
acquired from the scouts back on Yoho Lake, on the Scout Reserve.
Yeah.
And I know Susan,
Yeah.
Susan did all the legwork on that one, she did a
Yeah,
lot of
it's right.
negotiation.
You beat up on Sean, eh?
Pardon?
You beat up on Sean.
Yes.
Only when she had to.
Only when I had to. Yeah, no, it's 10 acres, it, starts at the property line, like about where the camps start, it's on the other side of the road, and
Okay.
it's about 500 feet along the road, and goes back. I've been thinking here last week, I'm not much of a drawer, but I was thinking I may try to, I'll print out the map from GOMB. and,
It'd be in what, the southwesterly corner?
Uh,
So it's along Yoho.
Yeah, it's right
Road
along
to
the- yeah,
As far
it-
down as the Scout's own,
Yeah.
and it's in that 10 acres in the
10, yeah,
last of their property on the Yoho Lake Road.
yeah. And it's, just before there's snowmobile trails, there's an old road, the old pig road goes through it, there's a trail that already, an existing trail, it's,
But it's been quite a procedure getting that
oh geez.
wrapped up
Yeah.
through Scouts Canada.
It has
Many, many,
been
many
years.
hoops to jump through with
It's
that
been
crap.
4 years?
Oh, it's been ongoing
It's
for,
been
yeah.
on forever. So,
But, you know.
But the lake,
Susan-
we've seen
Susan's
the
not gonna
light,
give
we're
up.
good.
She's tenacious when it
Yeah.
comes to that, she wasn't gonna let it go.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
we've seen the light.
So it's
anyway,
coming to
I'll
fruition.
try and send a map this weekend of what's there and what's going on. I think most is blown down now, but it's all good. We'll be in trouble building the parking lot, put it that way.
Well, that's something to, like I said, to start on this summer is to get at least, you know, work on some trails back there, maybe get a parking lot down up at
Yeah,
least.
get a parking lot done,
Good.
extend on to, beat on to there, maybe come to, I hate this law to say the word. Maybe come to an agreement to join our trails up with their trail.
Yeah.
And, parking lot, maybe we were talking about a gazebo type thing, or like with, not the one here at the end, but the big square one.
Yeah,
Cause they
picnic
need
shelter, yeah.
a shelter, a bigger one, so that, cause usually the Yoho Lake Association meetings are outdoors, so it'd be nice to have something like that, and then, we've already talked about a playground, very, a similar like rustic type playground and that type of thing, so.
Yeah,
I'll try and do
actually-
something up in the weekend, it's on my list of things to do.
Yeah. Oh,
Quick question, so all these ideas, are we kind of gonna put them together and get a consultant to look at it and kind of map out what we want? Are we gonna do that? Or are we gonna just take it to like Parks and Infrastructure and?
I think so, but
discuss it
I do think we need to
that
get
way?
some professional.
Well, we need to order our
Yeah.
stuff from, you know, a professional. and
That will go to Parks. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
talk about it for sure, as a whole, and lay out exactly what we need there.
Perfect.
yeah, come up with some kind of a plan of just exactly what we wanna do back there.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking, you know, little, like a playground for the kids and some
Mm-hmm.
play structures and some trails and a gazebo and a parking lot. So that's
Gonna
easily gonna take up, you know, that'll take up, most of the park right there. Because we'll have, probably have a couple of acres used up in parking lot and a
Well,
playground.
the parking lot, realistically, I was looking at the size of the little parking lot down here, the one
Yeah.
close to the road, that's about 50 cars, that's all you'd ever
All
need.
you'd ever need.
Yeah.
And, you know, an area done up for
Yeah.
some play structures and whatnot.
Yeah, and,
And the rest will be trails, and if we hook up to the trails that
Yeah.
are there, great.
and we've been talking about a surface there too,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. Oh, you know, not all at once necessarily, but.
Oh, it'll take time, but.
It'll take time, but,
Get a
you know.
start on it this year and get
Yeah.
something happening back there anyway.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, it's
right.
been 4 years in the plan.
Oh, it has to be at least 4
It's
years.
been a while.
Oh, it's, gosh, it's gotta be.
Just throwing this out, I don't know whether it's feasible or not, but Centennial Park in Moncton, they actually have these little barbecue stands as well.
Yeah,
But again,
We
that's
had
something
them
that we
on
can talk
Marshall's
about.
yeah.
and they disappeared.
Well, these are,
Yeah,
So-
these.
Yeah. St. John has them too in their nature
Yeah.
park.
Yeah,
Odell Park has them too.
Yes,
they?
Odell has them too.
I never knew
that.
So it's quite a common occurrence around for people
Yeah.
that wanna
Well, we
go
can
on a
always-
little barbecue
Bucktooth
picnic.
Dunes has
You always
some
think
too,
about it.
like, yeah, so.
throw some hot dogs on it.
Certainly, everybody's, you know, certainly welcome any input. I mean, we've got, you know, lots of folks here with some great ideas, so bring them forward and see what we can do.
Yeah, bring it to the infrastructure meeting. Okay, storage building. So we are going to, that's now gonna come to the head, I guess. We're now, Terry's all organized, we're all ready to go, so that we can bring
I got a
that
question
forward.
about that.
Yeah.
So realistically, we can take this off this year, like should be no reason we can't get a storage.
We can't, we're not,
building done.
we have to have a storage building
Yeah,
done,
I
but
was gonna
we're not
say
taking this off until it's
Yeah.
actually built, but no,
It'd
we
be
have
nice
to have one.
that done. You guys have been talking about it since I came in last
Couple
January.
years now.
Yeah. No, it's,
Like,
it's
let's-
going to be done,
Let's
yeah.
get her knocked out and out of the park.
So
And,
we're gonna see the final tender for that before it goes out, right? Because
Yeah.
there's some very specific electrical requirements.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't, like, we can't, we don't have enough space here to store the stuff we have now, and with Taylor acquiring more equipment and more sports, it's just, we just not enough space.
All right, well, it's gotta get done.
Plus, we need a place to park the truck. Unsightly premises, there's no update on that. Other than the unsightly bylaw, which you guys were all provided, I think, so I'm going to bring that forward to the council meeting for the second reading. And I was speaking with Lonnie today. We do not need to read the entire bylaw into the record.
It's
We don't
just a
need,
revision, it's just an
no,
amendment, right?
no, it's a brand new bylaw.
You're supposed to do that.
You don't need to, you don't need to.
In the
based
Local
on-
Governance Act, it says that you do.
Not if I advertise it, twice in 2 weeks,
Only for amendments. For a new bylaw, it has to be read in full.
but I read it. Are you,
Right.
like, 'cause Lonnie made a very valid point. Are you gonna read a 149-page rural plan into the record?
Might.
Like,
Well,
he's,
we're not gonna settle it right now, let's look into it and
Yeah.
see
Let's
just
look
exactly
into
I
it.
what
have,
the act
anyway,
says.
so it'll be just a reading by title tomorrow, next week anyway.
Yeah.
And then the next meeting is going to be put into
Holly?
play.
So I had some questions on it, so shall I just call you tomorrow and
Call, yep.
discuss
You
it
can,
with
you can
you?
discuss it with me, and then I'm just gonna forward them on to Lonnie, because they're the ones that drafted the bylaw.
Yeah, we should put them in writing then, so
Yeah.
Sherry don't have to write them down.
Or it doesn't really,
Well, no, one of the concerns was that at one point it states that it's gonna come back to a committee of council. We don't have a committee of council set up.
okay, I'll have to, okay, just, yeah, we'll talk about it,
So I'm just,
Tomorrow.
I'm just not sure how it's all going to,
and I'll talk to Lonnie.
okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I will call you
Tomorrow,
tomorrow and
yeah.
deal with it.
so that will be, we're moving that forward. The Crown land transfer. So, no update. But I see Terry is thinking we should set up a meeting with the minister.
I think it's a good idea.
yeah,
So-
'cause if we're gonna be expected to keep maintenance in this and it's not ours,
Yeah,
then they should be footing the bill this summer for maintenance of that park out there.
Okay, so I will try to set that up tomorrow.
I mean, we keep building and building and building.
But yeah,
and-
those ones are supposed to be coming, it's this one here that we were trying to add on to the list. Yeah, cause the ones up in Kingsclear,
Yeah, they're coming.
those parks are gonna be turned over to us.
But they still aren't.
Still,
It's still not.
Yeah,
But-
so I will contact
Yep,
and
we'll
I
set
will
up a
make a
meeting,
meeting.
that way
Yeah,
we can find out what's going on, the old saying,
Monday
going
afternoon,
fresh drink of water, you go to the head of the stream, right?
Yeah.
So enough waiting and waiting and waiting, let's move on it and get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea to get a hold of them.
yeah, I will contact them tomorrow. The highway signs, so Terry did apply for this, and we heard word today that we are not too late, and they are going to push it forward and let us know.
Nice.
All those things, she applied for the highway signs, the laserfish system, reimbursement for the new council desks and chairs, laptops, new desk for the recreation director, assistant clerk laptops, HR consultant, all those things that she has listed. So hopefully we'll get some funds for that. The vision plan for council, would you like that set up in February for the management meeting, or do you want to?
Were you talking to, gal out there in your neck of the woods that did our strategic plan?
No, I haven't talked to
Bonnie?
her. I could.
Yeah, cause that's another, she did a great job on her, she put together a strategic plan for us, had several meetings with us. She was the facilitator, and she did a really good job on it.
It
So,
wasn't a ton of money either, too.
no, and it wasn't stupid prices like some of them are, right? So it might be worthwhile approaching her to see if she has that, if she feels like doing it. I know she has the expertise, there's no doubt about that.
I can check with her to see if she's
Yeah.
still doing them.
And check with Bonnie on that, yeah, cause she,
But
like I said, she did a.
But this
nice
is not
job.
that, this is
It's just the
having,
vision statement.
no, this
No.
is to having a consultant come
Yeah.
and talk about what we should put in the tender for getting the vision plan done.
Yeah.
So
But
I
I
need
think-
to know if you want us to book that, for them to come to the management meeting and talk to us about that, of what we would need.
Because we're looking at more than what was done last time, is
Right,
that?
yes.
Well, we're looking at a vision plan. This
Well,
is,
this
And
is-
strategic plan.
and a strategic plan.
And operational.
Right.
So it's a vision, strategic, operational plan, this is all three.
Yeah. But they're all separate documents too. You have a vision plan, which is separate from a strategic plan, which is separate from an operational plan. If you had them all together, I don't think you'd kind of have a confusing document, I think. Because we were talking a couple of months ago about a vision plan, which wasn't a strategic plan.
We were talking about all three,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But the operational plan is gonna have to follow our strategic plan,
Right.
They all kind of,
mesh.
they mesh, they all have to work together.
Yeah.
So,
One's gotta follow the
so
other.
Terry is wondering if you want to have somebody come and kind of talk to you guys about what is needed and what we would need to put into tender, so we can get the right people to come and do that for us.
I agree.
Because we want to do it once, right? We want to do it right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it wouldn't hurt to have her come and tell about, talk to us about it.
Okay,
But we can find out from them what we need to put into our plan, and then, like you say, then we'll know if we want to shop around, then we'll know what we need.
right,
Just
so I'm gonna, we'll say yes, we want to set this up for the
Do a
management
little
meeting.
homework first.
Yeah.
and then we
Sounds
know
like
what
a
we
good
want.
It probably should ultimately end up being like an RFP to see what people are willing to offer for it rather than just quotes, right? You'll want to see these two things are close in price, but what's the differences of what they're gonna offer to do for it, right? Might be significant differences between the two things.
Right,
Sounds like a good idea.
okay, so I will move that forward. Recreation agreement with the city, so that's been signed and sent to the city. It was going to the Fredericton City Council for their approval, and yeah, I think we're good to go.
Just one thing on that, Sherry, I just want to reinforce that when that's complete, we should put something out on social media, Hanwell website,
Yep,
whatever else, get the word out there.
Yeah, because most people have no idea what the recreation plan, agreement with the city, what it encompasses, right? They don't really know. Some of the hockey guys don't, but that's about it.
Can we do something in the Herald?
yeah, we can actually, yeah.
Sure, it's a good idea.
Megan's working on that now.
Putting that together now, it's a good time.
Okay, I'll mention that to her tomorrow. Access road for loops 2 and 3. So the blazing was done by Dan, Deputy Mayor Jonah, and Mayor Morrison. It was awesome. It was a big help. The site plan was submitted, and Terry sent another email to ELG yesterday, just kind of confirming, like finding out how long it's going to take. We still haven't heard a response.
That was the new site plan we put in. When we make changes to the park over there, we have to put it on the site plan, has to be sent into DNR or Crown Lands for their approval or whatnot. So we're still waiting for them to get back to us. So.
The Rick Hansen certification, I did speak with Terry about, Councillor Heislop mentioned, there's another contact in Sackville, I think it was,
They are working out of Mount
Monet.
yeah,
And Terry said she would look into that for sure.
because the last lady that was doing it, she's not listed in their directory anymore, so she's probably
Moved
moved
on.
on. It's been like 4 years.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been at least 4 years, yeah.
So, yes, so there
Since
is
we opened
another,
this place.
yeah, there's another gentleman that received his certification to do this, to look at buildings and whatever. But he's based out of Mount A, which would be a lot closer than.
I think she was, was she out of Halifax or
She
something?
was out of Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, yeah.
Anyway, that was the only thought I had on that.
Okay. Burning regulations. So would it be council wishes for us to bring that to governance and do a bylaw or policy?
No.
No?
No,
I don't see the need to create a third
no, I
set
think it's,
of rules and regulations.
that's right, like it already exists, I think that,
Provincial, yeah.
we
Yeah.
follow the one that we've been telling people in the past and ignore the one that was from DNR, whatever it was, and.
Was the DNR one that we follow?
with
The
what
DNR
was,
one
they-
follows, but if you go on DNR's page,
Right.
they in turn link you to the other page, which in turn includes the 150 meter.
And that's for after, that's for the duration of fire season, but environment can supersede some of the rules from the DNR standards. But really, DNR standards are safety. It's all about safety, it's all about,
Yeah.
so,
So the one we've been saying though was 150 feet, not meters, right?
150 meters.
But that's what's in the,
That's what's in.
That's in the one
one.
that we, the other one's 60?
yeah,
60.
Yeah,
60
60 and
meters
60
meters
from
so-
forest lands.
Yeah.
Okay, but the one that DNR in turn also sends people to says 150 meters from a house.
I got 2 acres, I wouldn't be able to burn on my property if I had
Nobody-
100.
Yeah, so
That's
nobody
not
else
key.
burn.
Nobody could burn anywhere, anytime, any day,
Yeah.
never.
Yeah.
Can be clarified, that's not realistic.
No, it's not
I
realistic.
think
I
they
don't-
might have had 150 feet.
But isn't it,
No, it was 150 meters.
Yeah, but it might have meant 100,
the
150
thing is though, that,
meters is a long ways away.
oh,
Yeah, but that's
500
it's
feet.
in the act, or
Yeah.
the regulations.
I
Well,
mean-
you wouldn't get across your acre lot at 150
Well-
feet.
Yeah, your acre lot's only 180 feet wide.
my lot's 120 feet wide and 200 and some feet long.
So then is the ask to clarify
Yeah.
Well, no, I
what
don't-
people are supposed to be using and then just like direct the community to that? Like, I know that it's not our job, but if people are asking us as.
Well,
I would just keep behind the DNR one.
we have in the past, yeah, just, anytime that it's ever come up, which isn't very often.
Yeah.
We've just always advertised for people, especially in fire season, to, go to the burning index and follow the DNR. Like, it's never really ever come up
No, so, but the problem was, I guess, it has come up and staff had no direction from council.
Well,
So
yeah.
what's the direction that we're gonna be giving staff to do? Basically to point them to the website, and if they have an issue, take up civil litigation with the person that's having a problem with?
Well, no.
We don't wanna get involved with it.
No, we don't wanna get involved with it because
No, I mean,
It's out of our hands, follow the DNR regulations.
follow the
We don't
DNR
have a
regulation
bylaw,
and-
we're
Yeah.
relying on the DNR regulations.
there's a
So
1-800
that's as
number
far
in
as
there
we
they
go.
can call after
Yeah.
the fact.
that's right, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we've done in the past, it's never been a problem. You phone DNR, you find out about the size of your fire, whatever, if somebody puts in the, if someone calls or whatever, usually the fire department will come and have a look at it.
They will.
So that's the direction for
That's-
staff, and they'll redirect
I would
to
say
the
so,
DNR.
yeah. That's what
Y'all
I
okay
think.
with that? I'm fine.
I'm
I
fine
would
with
like
it.
to see some clarification from Department of Environment, local government
Well,
on their.
I can't imagine what the hell they're thinking.
Well, we could send a letter and ask for clarification.
Yeah,
Well,
At least place an attempt.
Just say there seems to be a contradiction between the two department policies or actually legislation in the case.
Two acts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we got a letter out, just to see what happens,
Just to.
because they might not even
I'm
know
not
there's.
concerned about the DNR one, it's the environment one that doesn't seem realistic. I mean,
No.
it'd be nice to see it in writing, what their position on that is. It's,
Well, the impression I got is more to do with air quality, so therefore I'm wondering if it has something to do with the size of a fire.
it is the size of your fire.
Yeah, because I
But
mean,
it's-
realistically, even anybody burning, tree fell down in your backyard, you're still not even looking at a, which one is it, class 1, which is 3 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not even looking at anything that big, you're basically looking at nothing much more than a large
Bonfire.
bonfire. I mean,
it's 3 meters across, 2 meters high.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty big chunk
But
of
it, like
wood.
to that email, it's the ashes.
It was more, yeah, it was just, but it,
And
yeah, it was
The
like I
gentleman,
said.
the gentleman's burning very close to the property line.
But in that case, that's when you do phone DNR or you do phone the fire department, they'll come over and look at your fire and have a
we
chat.
can't even do that.
You can't even do that?
We're not legislative, we're not covered for nothing.
So
Okay,
that's what I'm
good to
saying,
know.
that's where it becomes a civil issue.
Well, DNR can do
They need to
something.
sort it out
Well,
amongst
yeah,
themselves,
DNR should
and then
do something, yeah.
it's nothing to do
His,
with us.
his complaint was the ashes fell on his car and whatnot.
Yeah, he needs to talk to the property owner that's doing the burning, and they can figure it out on the
Well,
morning.
yeah, I mean, you can't get into everybody's
No,
neighbors.
it's not our business.
No, exactly.
But I agree with Councillor Bringman, we do need some clarification. One, because
It's been brought up.
it's been brought up. Two, because they're so different. But three, also, it was out on social media for a short period of time, but in that short period of time, there was enough people to notice it and comment on it. So we
Like I said, we'll
should
put a letter
clarify.
out to, Environment and DNR.
And then I'll bring it back to you guys, you'll know what to tell residents when they ask.
Yep.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's what it needs to
Yeah.
boil down to, yeah.
Okay, that works.
That works.
Okay, Kingswood Golf Course Assessment. Mayor Morrison noticed that the golf course at Kingswood is actually in Hanwell. So we did a letter to Minister Savoy, and he responded. They're going to look into it and get back to us.
And right now, I was talking to one of my buddies at SNB, and he said it might be a mapping error. Like, he said when you click on it, there's other stuff that runs behind, so it may be in Hanwell, the actual signature golf course.
Yeah.
When you look at it on SNB assessment, and you click on it, it shows that parcel is in the city. But there may be other things behind those numbers when you click on them that they don't show on those maps, right? The maps are just a graphical representation, so, yeah, Dave,
If
go
you
ahead.
go to, actually, the wards, okay, the defensive wards, you can actually see where Ward 4, okay, comes in off of the road that goes into Kingswood, okay? That part, the north side,
That's the part here, yeah.
north side is actually a golf course.
Yeah.
Appears to be golf course, but then in turn the Radisson appears to be in Ward 4.
Yeah, the Radisson is definitely, when you click
It
on
is in
that,
Ward
it's
4.
definitely in
But
Hanwell.
the map that you see,
Yeah.
okay, when you take a look at the wards, okay, it looks like Kingswood is in Fredericton.
And my understanding was always that the executive course is in Fredericton, but the main
Along the
course
The
is
signature course is in
course
Hanwell.
is within Hanwell.
Supposedly the signature course, the bowling alley building.
Sam Steeds is in front.
And they have the other course. It's all being allotted to Fredericton.
The other thing,
So it's
although we
the
shouldn't,
18 hole that.
you know, is where the city of Fredericton actually have their city limits sign as well.
It's not in the right spot.
It's not the right
Yeah.
spot.
Bugs me every time I drive in town. Cause it should be down, like when you're driving in, it should be just across from the entrance to the trailer park.
The first entrance.
If you look at the map though, it actually does cut across the road
Does.
at an angle,
Yeah.
45-degree angle.
Yeah,
So
but that sign is too far into Hanwell. Like the actual green little sign where
Right.
you're entering the city. It's on there, it's well into
It cuts
Hanwell.
off at the first, more or less the first driveway coming out.
That's where the line is. Like if you're going into town,
Yeah.
into the city, the entrance to the trailer park, the first one you come to on the left,
Yeah,
the
that's
line
on
actually
Hanwell.
comes out that driveway and then crosses the road and heads around the golf course.
so yeah, it's like 200 feet in our property.
Yeah, a couple hundred feet, the sign's a couple hundred feet into Hanwell.
I don't think they survey theirs.
No,
They just stuck it up.
But it's something that bugs me every time I drive by, but, yeah.
well, it's the same thing on the freeway. The New Maryland signs in Will too.
I wonder
Yeah.
if, I wonder if some of the mapping issues come from the reform, because I remember when we were looking at actual perimeters and everything was kind of on there were things we noticed were incorrect on the maps, or we felt at least were not.
Well, I remember, yeah,
Represented correctly.
that Thursday night,
Because
they wanted to put the trailer park out in the city.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello,
And then they had Party Yoho and,
Right.
and part of the crown
So I'm
land.
wondering if
Crown
when
and
they were doing that stuff,
Mayor
maybe they
Sutton or
just didn't
someplace.
realize and pick up on the fact that they had also done stuff. I don't
No,
know.
the golf course has been allotted to Fredericton since 2014.
14? Yeah.
If it's correct on the map.
If the map is right, because when you click on it on Service New Brunswick, that is Hanwell. Like it's very clearly.
Cause it's,
In
this
Hanwell.
is part of the golf course that goes along the Trans Canada there.
Yeah, it's all Hanwell.
And the city line is well
Well past.
into the golf course, right?
Yeah.
So that major portion of the signature course is in Hanwell.
There might be one. I think there's one or two holes that are actually in Fredericton. The rest are in.
There's a couple of holes on the far, like the couple of the last holes of the 18-hole course
Yeah.
are actually in the city.
But the rest are in Hanwell.
But it's something they're looking into,
Yeah, this one looked into anyway, yeah. So.
yeah.
I don't think.
If anything, they should fix the map, so when you click on it, it shows that it's in Hanwell. Because if you click on the actual, the building itself, like the recreation building in there, when you click on that, it refers to a $20,000 assessment on a piece of property that doesn't even have that building on it. So it's like I said, it's kind of weird.
Maybe they did it.
But yeah, we know the recreation building is in Hanwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they actually appealed it last year and did a slight reduction on it, and we reviewed those appeals that they looked at. So,
Okay. So the next item, garbage confusion. I don't think we need to go over that. That was kind of dealt with. It was an issue and it was dealt with. Debris cleanup for winter storm. Again, that's been dealt
I
with.
just want to clarify, I didn't ask that we look after the thing, I was just more or less wondering if anybody had heard that if the DTI was gonna do like they did back with Arthur and clean up
Major
debris.
storm cleanup.
Right.
Major storm cleanup. I wasn't asking for hand wall
Okay,
to
yeah, yeah.
have areas to dump, cause
Okay, so,
it's not like it's not that's not the way I.
so do we want to, do we want to contact ETI and see if they're gonna be doing that, or?
They're doing it, but I don't know to what extent, because I've run into the same half-ton 3 times in the area, cutting the trees off the side of the road.
Okay.
But this has just been the main road. They haven't been down any other spots. And I know we had to take some gear back to Harvey, and we went through Lake George, and they were going out there with a truck with a clam on it, picking up all the debris, because
It's gonna
it
take
impacts
time.
the safety of
Yeah.
DTI
Yeah.
plowing the roads effectively.
I think it's gonna take time for them to do it.
Oh, and
Yeah.
after the storm, we'll see what.
Yeah, 'cause last time they
Yeah.
had everybody, like, you had, trees or debris down the yard, you could take it and bring it up the side of the road.
Right.
Yeah.
And they sent a truck by with, like I said, with a clam on it, picks it up, and it's gone. Almost like garbage day for trees and branches.
Yeah, it was too, like because I had a person ask about it, because it's just a lot, it's a lot of work for people, but,
Yeah, it's up to them to clean their own property up.
yeah,
It was good that DTI or whatever department did it,
yeah.
put a truck up and go pick it up in front of your yard, so whether they're gonna do it again, might be worthwhile finding out.
That's what my ask was.
Yeah.
So number 19, Terry put future discussion. Do we want to discuss this now? If there's a water issue at the mini home park in Hamwell, I do know that the majority of the mini home park is in the city of Farton. There's only, one street maybe that is in Hamwell?
No.
If that?
Oh, no,
Is there a couple of streets?
There's about 300, there's about 300.
The whole,
Two-thirds?
yeah, the whole back.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the majority was in Fredericton.
No, just that
Well,
one front street's in front
It's
of
about
it.
60% in Frederick and
Yeah.
40%
Okay.
in Hanwell.
So,
Up around the bend.
Isn't the water,
this is owned by, this is a
This
privately
is a
owned.
private,
It's a
but
private-
my thing is, like, my in-laws live down in Lincoln, and they didn't have a big issue because they knew where they could go to get water and come and have a shower. But lovely social media blew everything out of the water on them, or Muckwa ended up offering up a place to go get water and have showers. But it was like right at the end, and it's just a matter of,
well, I mean, if they have,
if we're gonna get a call, if that happens, cause
yeah,
knock on wood, nothing's happened, it seems to happen here. But
I'm sure we would open up, whether
Oh my
the
gosh,
fire
yeah.
department did or we would, it wouldn't even be an
Yeah.
issue.
somebody has to, yeah,
Yeah.
if it's an emergency thing. I thought you were talking about, would we do something about their water?
Yeah, me
No.
too.
Fix it, and I'm thinking, no,
That's
no,
private.
it's a private system,
Well, that ask is gonna be there too, can we?
yeah.
Many homeowners themselves, they look after water, sewer,
Yeah.
street cleaning,
Yeah, it is,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
But for sure, we would open
Garbage
up our
collection.
shelter.
If there was an emergency, we
There
would
should
we would
just
do
be
something.
something.
They're part of the community.
It should be in the back of our minds that if something does
Oh, yeah,
ever happen, and
Just reach
Yeah.
out.
Well, just for an perfect example, when that
storm.
crazy windstorm went through there, we opened the center here
Yeah.
Right.
for a warming center because
That's
they had no power and yeah, so it would definitely be offered to them. This calls for briefs. You guys, I didn't print those off for you. Terry had attached it with the management minutes. So I guess there's made for information for you. You guys all read it?
Yep.
I don't
Okay.
understand what information they're looking for from us, I guess, would be the question.
I was gonna talk,
Just basically said no further direction will be given to council.
get a chance to talk to Tim about it.
What do they want
so I
from
was
us
thinking-
about it? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not really sure.
I'm not even, but I think Tim knows
Talking about
more
a brief for homelessness and low income and poverty and stuff like that.
Right, and, but what are they asking, what's the ask to us?
If we have anything to submit, ideas, suggestions, that type of thing.
For our plan?
For hand
Well,
work?
because he's on the committee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim's on the,
Yeah.
community development committee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that took a while, that was a reach.
Okay. Flashing amber lights. I have an answer.
Oh, good.
Basically, they feel that having flashing amber lights on top of the already speed signs is going to be a bigger distraction than necessary. They will not do it. They've not done it in any other municipalities. They've not any major, like, this is considered a highway. So it's a no.
It's on the 105.
She was very adamant, they won't do it. They will not put a flashing light over top of the flashing speed sign.
Oh, I'm going flashing speeds.
They
Oh, I
won't
see
put
what you're
it.
talking about,
It's
yeah.
too much. She said they won't do it.
I thought you were referring to the flashing yellow saying reduce speed ahead.
No.
Because there's one of those on 105.
Yeah, no, she said no. She said they'll continue to monitor. And I did mention to her about, people being trapped, lots of, and she said, again, that school's been there for almost a year. And the people getting caught, generally the ones that live here. So you have to know there's a school there at this point. You have to know there's a school, so, yeah, so there'll be no flashing amber.
Okay, maybe
We tried,
I think the sign here needs to be moved.
we tried.
So what if we put a reduced zone ahead then before it and put a flashing amber on it?
Yeah, like 100 meters before it.
I can ask. I can make that ask.
This one out here is way too close.
I thought they should move,
It
that should be at
the other side of
Eddington.
that hill.
Should be at Eddington, is where it should be.
Yeah.
It should be at Eddington. Where it says school zone ahead, it should be at Eddington. There's no doubt in my mind. The one up there is not so bad. The one coming towards Hamel isn't as bad because you're coming down a hill. It's not bad. This one
This is a blind
worse.
hill.
Yeah, there's no line of sight.
No.
Yeah. I will bring it back to her.
And I mean, in all honesty, there's places that you go to where it would have had speed change or new this or whatever, so they would have something.
New sign.
Yeah, new sign or whatever and have flashing amber on it. So I think it warrants it. Yes, the school's been there for a year, but not everybody coming off the ramps or if they're coming this way are going to.
Been there for a year though. The signs have like.
No, the signs
actual,
haven't
like,
been there. That's
the-
right.
The in your face, maybe, I guess, hasn't been there.
So maybe, yeah, if we can ask,
Ahead.
that would be great.
I can always ask.
Okay. Well, Sherry covered everything she had on her notes.
No, I think there's some more things.
There is
Hey,
no-
the back page,
Just let me write this first.
not read, but.
Okay. Next council meeting is on Valentine's Day.
Consider it.
Oh, is it really?
So do we want to
I
keep
never thought about
it? Do we want to keep it on Valentine's Day, or do we want to move it to the Tuesday or the Thursday?
I actually did, my person was like, are you kidding?
What,
Are you gonna
Valentine's
really,
Day?
yeah, are you really gonna have, I was like, listen, this is not-
You haven't been married for over 40 years then.
apparently not.
So we can change it. We just have to make notice. So I just need to know if you guys want to move it either to either day or just leave it. It doesn't really matter to me, but
I'm fine with it being on that
Carol
day.
isn't on
I
there.
guess too.
I don't care one way or the other, I don't think.
we're all good.
Okay.
But if anybody else wants
Who
to.
It doesn't matter to me 'cause I'll just be
Who
home.
doesn't matter? Raise your hand.
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
I have to say that it matters.
It's a good thing there's not video of this so that people can see.
Okay, so the
So
council
when I talk to
meeting.
Mary, I'll tell her.
Okay,
Just
the
to cover
council
your ass.
meeting will remain on the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay, Hamel Days. Are we moving forward with this and are we going to do the 4 or 5 events? Are we doing one event? Are we gonna push it again? It's now January, and if we want to plan something big, the plans have to start. We can't wait until like a month before, we have to like,
I thought the consensus was to have one big event the
Yeah,
last
that's
time
what
we
we-
Last time we
okay,
talked.
so are we looking, so this is another
We
thing.
do need to have a committee like.
We need to
Yes.
have a committee set, we need to get a date set, because that calendar is
Right, our
nuts.
own
Our
is
own booking
nuts.
calendar is nuts right now, like, it's filling up, so let's get a committee set, and let's figure out when we're gonna do it, and what extent, is it gonna be a weekend thing, is it gonna be a week thing, it's like, and I know New Maryland does New Maryland Days, and they do it like for a week, I think.
No,
Or
I
is this
think
a
they've
weekend?
changed theirs, they just do it one day now, they used to do a whole bunch, but
Right.
then I think they reduced it, because they don't have the
Volunteers,
volunteers.
like, we could just do one day too instead of a weekend, but,
Shouldn't the committee be led by Taylor and then what the rest of us could add in as we.
okay, as long as it's not just Taylor, because Taylor does not have the capability of planning that event.
Yeah.
On his own. It's too big, it's this
Well,
really,
he's the
Hamel
cornerstone.
Days, Hamel Days is a council-driven event,
He's
Right.
been here with them.
right?
Well, yeah.
We can't keep passing everything on.
Hamel
No,
Days is a
no.
council-driven event. You guys are the face, they need to see you, that's what the whole
Okay.
point, right?
Who's
is-
interested in serving on a Hamel Days committee?
Okay,
I
there.
guess who's not? Everybody's interested.
Just teasing.
Okay, so we're all interested, so somebody just has to grab the bull by the horns and start a committee and get things moving and.
And pick a date.
Sooner rather than
Just-
later.
Well,
We
that's
gotta
right,
pick a
you
date.
gotta have a date.
But we have a committee, like everybody's interested, so we're just gonna get a committee meeting sometime in January. And pick a date and get things rolling and take it from there.
And get it booked, yeah.
And get it booked.
Well,
So what I'll
what's
do is
available?
tomorrow, I will sit on my computer, I will throw some dates together, and I will send it out, and you guys pick a date, and we'll go from there.
So just
Yeah, Hollis?
as,
Go ahead.
as Taylor is the recreation director, I don't wanna step on his toes, so is he gonna chair it?
He can chair it. It's
Should
totally
we-
up. I do think that there,
Should we ask him?
we can ask him. I just know that for him right now, the planning for other things is quite,
Well, just
it's
scheduling the
quite
time and stuff
daunting.
for the gymnasium.
right?
is filling his schedule
So
right now. He's
throwing
very busy.
Hamel days, and he does want to try maybe start Parks and Rec committee. We've kind of talked about that. So just, I think he'll definitely sit on the committee for sure. Whether he chairs it or not, I don't know.
Okay.
Dave?
Yeah.
You had mentioned prior to Christmas, I'm gonna call it an open forum, but a meet your council.
Yeah, coffee and conversation with your counselor or mayor. Yeah.
And we can plan that anytime.
Yeah.
You guys give me some dates, we'll plunk it in.
Yeah. Let's see if we can do that then somewhere towards the end of January. Is that, what's a good night for everybody? Like maybe a Thursday night?
Thursday, probably
Thursday
best.
night? So let's do it with, say we look at the last Thursday in January.
And realistically here, Thursday nights are always empty, so
I think,
January 25th is,
I think we have the
rural
rural
plan
plan
review.
meeting
Yeah.
that
Okay,
night.
so
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
move it
that's a
to,
Thursday, right, yeah.
well, here we are,
First
that's
week
2
of
weeks away.
Okay,
Let's
how about
move
look
it
at
to the
February?
second last Thursday in January.
Well,
okay, I'll look at the dates and I'll bring you some dates. Okay, last one, appointments to committees. I'm gonna add this to the council meeting next week. We probably should get these committees back up and running. Age friendly, if we're gonna continue with the environmental stewardship and the MB Power. I think you had said you might sit on that MB Power one,
well,
if nobody else wanted to.
it depends what everybody thinks. I
Okay.
would be okay with that. but,
Okay.
I would like to talk about, there's some other committee, the EMO committee, for example. There's some great expertise in this room that would really,
Yep,
we could benefit from
yep.
having those people on the committee. And what about the communications committee? Is that,
Okay, that's not a mandated committee for council,
okay?
so that's
Is there
an
something to do
operational.
with the EMO committee that,
No, everybody's allowed to sit on it. You just can't, in an emergency, you can't be in the room.
okay.
and this
That's the only
was-
thing.
This is the thing that we were talking about after last week when we had no power for a week, was that, yeah, because we've never been on the committee, we've never been to anything, we really knew nothing. I really did nothing.
Yeah,
And there was things that I could have done, even though it's still working, but because we don't know, we're not involved in it at all.
you guys are welcome to come to the committee meeting. It's
See, we always thought
actually,
we couldn't,
yeah, but at one point, it has changed.
that's good.
It's changed. Now, it has changed. Now,
It
council, just changed.
yes.
Council's now allowed to sit on a committee, however, you cannot participate. So if there is an emergency, state of emergency, you will not be in here. You'll be out there. Because you guys are the face, you guys are kind of the liaison between us and the community. So that's what
But
your
considering
job
up
is.
Until now, we've known nothing about what
So
committee
come to a
we're in.
meeting.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of positive feedback.
They're good-
on
it's a good
the-
meeting.
On the power outage here, had this place open for a couple of days,
Yeah.
did a lunch, did a breakfast, did a supper. They had 80 people, I think, for supper on the
Yeah.
spaghetti supper.
Sean was telling me they had a good turnout for the Yoho when they had 14 one day and
Yeah.
I forget what it was, 7 or 8 or 9.
But we would welcome you guys to come. Just let us know.
It was really busy here on Thursday, it was great.
I was tied up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were.
You were
yeah.
going hot airs, which
You don't have to, but you're welcome to come,
Yeah.
right?
So, like I said,
Are you
in
talking
emergencies.
committee, or are you talking an event?
No, committee. They can come
Yeah,
to
okay.
me. Absolutely come to the committee meeting.
Anytime there's an emergency, we know our firefighters are 100% engaged.
But the age friendly needs to get up and running again. As same with this environmental stewardship. I think if it's we have the committee as a committee. If we're not going to move forward with it, we need to either disband it or use it.
Is it in the committee policy, the
Yes.
environmental stewardship? It is?
Yes.
That was desired by a previous councillor. I don't
Yeah.
know if the demand's still there for it or not.
So that's
Well,
something we need.
If
You
there's
guys.
no
Need,
interest, there's no interest.
yeah, maybe think about it over the next week, and then I'm just gonna put committees on as an agenda item, and we can discuss it, and you guys can decide if you want to move forward with it or not. So realistically, it's just really the age-friendly committee at this point because the communications is operational. It's up to Megan if she needs a communications committee or not. She does all the communications, so.
There are times when I guess with the Herald and the website are two things.
Mm-hmm.
If we see something on the website that doesn't look right, or it's out of date or something, should we contact you or
Yes,
Terry?
absolutely, yes.
I mean, well, I don't want to talk to Megan directly, but.
Yes, absolutely.
Who should we contact?
Me,
Okay.
contact me.
So I was just thinking about meetings. So when we had our leadership training with that Barb Quigley,
Yeah,
at one point she said what they had done was did away with most of their
Yeah.
committees
We-
because for various reasons, right? And then just kind of did it as counseling committee or that kind of thing. And I'm wondering because of these ones here, the interest either may not be there any longer, or the volunteer base isn't there
right.
any longer, or the fact that we're gonna have other committees that are coming up that are gonna take priority, like the Hamel Days Committee.
Yeah.
Like, when the Recreation Master Plan gets up and running, you're going to have a committee for that as well. So I'm just wondering where the priorities are for the committees.
So you guys have to kind of decide that. Do you guys want to, I mean, if we're not gonna carry on with these committees, we have to get rid of them. We have to take them off the website. We need to take them off the committee policy, because
I mean,
right now,
these
people
are-
are asking about them, right?
Yeah.
Because they're there.
These are committees of council. If council don't wanna have the committees, council got to decide on that. So,
Yeah, there'd be there are too many things to do in a council and committee session with all these things together. Thinking like Hamel Days alone will probably be a 2-hour meeting every single time we have a meeting for the Hamel Days.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That would take up the entire meeting of CIC.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree, but I think some of them would have to be special committees, right? Like Hamel Days is a special committee.
It's an ad hoc
not a
special committee,
sitting,
yeah. No,
yeah, it's not a
it's an ad hoc
sitting
committee, yeah.
committee, generally speaking, right? But these other
And we can
ones-
involve members of the public with the Camel Days.
Yeah. Right.
If you have a friend who wants to help with Hamel Days, they should be
Yes.
coming to the meeting.
Yes.
Right? That's kind of the thing. If you have a relative or a friend or your wife or whatever wants to be, then they should be here for that
I'm
meeting.
sure we'll put a call out on social media, much like with Spook Fest, we'll have people that wanna, because we didn't really have one last year,
Right.
right? So I'm sure people wanna get it back for volunteers. Just
So
a thought.
it's up to you. So if we're not, like I said, so you guys take the week, think about it. And then we have to kind of decide, are we gonna move forward with these committees? Or are we just gonna say, nope, we're done and put them aside? Because we can't leave them opened right now, because it's just not struck. I'd like to just, if we're not gonna do it, then they need to come off the
Well, Basically,
website.
the age
Need to be
friendly,
done.
we need to decide on that, and we need somebody to chair it. And environmental stewardship, we need to decide on that, and have somebody to chair it.
Yeah.
And with the NB Power, it's not really, it's community liaison, that
It's not our
a
committee.
person from
Yeah.
this group will sit
Yeah.
on that committee, it's not our committee. But to me, it's in your area, it's in your board, you'd be the ideal candidate if you wanted to do it, so,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
yeah.
Okay. Really just the
So that may be one
age-friendly-
we can cross
Yeah,
off.
That's one we can cross off. That's not on the committee policy anyway, is it?
No.
It's not.
It's not
ours.
ours.
It's not
It's not
ours,
ours,
but where it's something involved in our area, there probably should be somebody sitting on it.
Yeah.
Because the dam is a pretty big part of Island View. It's a big part of that area, of that part of Hamwell, right? It's,
So really, it's just age-friendly and environmental stewardship.
Yeah.
I think that if there's no interest for the environmental stewardship, we should just pull it off the committee policy, the next meeting we have of the governance committee, we'll revise it and pull it. Age-friendly, is there still any interest in that? Didn't they say we had to start that over from scratch
Oh,
now?
it changes, seems like it changes every time you turn around.
The last, yes, I got an email from a lady wondering how we were doing with, with it, and I said, I'm sorry, but that committee's on hold. But yes, it's all changed, so if you basically would have to start from scratch in order if you wanted to get
So do we
that
have,
certification.
do we have the amount of interest to do that? I guess would be from both council and whoever might have been previously on the committee.
Is anybody on council interested in looking after an age-friendly committee?
The mandate as it currently stands actually doesn't have age-friendly certification on there.
You would think it would have,
It doesn't though.
yeah, but that's easily changed.
Yeah, but it talks about doing programs and things like that for seniors and everything. But now that can be done through the table.
we don't necessarily need a committee.
Right, you don't necessarily need a committee for,
So if we're not
What's
looking for
on there?
certification, we should probably just pull it. That would be my opinion anyway. I don't know, move the poll the room or whatever, but.
But like I said, unless somebody has a burning desire to be on that committee and move it forward and do what an age-friendly committee does,
So it sounds like the decision's been made to.
I don't see anybody saying rah, 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 so let's just move it.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's local governments, we'll.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull the appointments of the committees off of there's no point in having it on the agenda.
Yeah.
And then we will work on it with the governance committee, we'll get
Yeah.
it figured out,
It's an
and
easy
then,
update, we'll just pull them.
yeah.
It's just the policies, so it's
It's the
easy
policy.
to change.
It's
Yeah.
one update, one motion to change it.
Yeah,
What about, environmental stewardship?
We're pulling it.
Pulling that too,
there's no
okay.
interest in
And
that.
everybody's all right with, anybody else wanna arm wrestle Chris to sit on that committee with you, Dan?
Which one? Which one's that?
The Mactaquac one, they wanna arm wrestle you for it.
Yeah.
You said you were interested unless somebody else wants to
Yeah,
serve.
if somebody else.
I don't see anybody else speaking up, so you're the man as far as I'm
Yeah, I don't
concerned.
even know who to contact, but I'll find it.
We can work that out, because I think,
What's
I
his
know
name?
Debbie's on it.
Debbie.
Terry knows, I think Terry
Debbie.
knows.
And, the gentleman that run against,
John Casey.
John Casey's on
Casey's,
it, because he usually sends me the emails on it.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
so
Okay,
you get contacts if you,
Yeah.
either check something to Debbie or check.
Yeah, I'll check
Terry.
it out. Yeah.
Because I know Debbie had information on that,
Yeah,
she served on
And she
it.
still
So.
sits
I
on.
mean, council should have a representative
Yeah,
on
really
this,
should.
simple as that, so.
okay, so I'm at the end of the meeting, I have nothing else, anybody have any questions?
I just have a clarification for number 14, the aquatic pool.
Yes,
The last sentence, it says, Hanwell wishes to have a 50-meter pool, but we would agree to continue with the project.
like, I think it should just means to continue, like what we're doing, what we've
But
agreed to.
continue with what
We've already
we had
agreed to.
originally.
Yep,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
that's what that means,
Okay.
there's nothing,
Okay.
what you guys voted is what went.
Okay.
That was,
Yeah,
that was just the design
Yeah,
stage.
I wondered what that is.
Have
Yeah.
Jared worded it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The motion you guys made is what was sent.
yeah,
See,
we
there's a
would
lot
move
of-
forward with the design phase,
Only.
but nothing.
Yep,
Yeah.
So moving the city now on their, on the new, Arts Entertainment Center, they've did some work toward that, they're starting to work that on that site anyway. So that looks like that's gonna move forward. I mean, it doesn't concern us, that's something the city's going.
For now, it doesn't concern us.
Yeah.
In the past, they have
Yes.
tried to push it on, so expect to hear something about that at some point.
Because if it goes, if government pushes it on down to the Regional Service Commission,
We'll be paying for it.
well, but then there'll probably be an uproar from 14, a number of the 14 communities, so.
If the city is 51% of the vote.
No,
they
they
get
only have 49.
49,
Yeah.
okay, so it's the
So-
city plus any one
The
other.
city and
entity.
anyone can shove it down their throat. Yeah. But I think if there's if people saying that there's enough pushback, because we voted the last time when they came to us looking for us to participate in the new Arts and Entertainment Center, we voted it down. We were not interested in paying for it.
right.
There were only 14 people in Hamwell that, at that time, for the numbers they gave us, that
Yeah.
used that center.
Exactly. Yeah.
So any other questions or additions?
Not for me.
Nope.
Nope.
Speak up, or forever hold your peace. Go ahead, Chris.
I just want to add one thing, I did get some news, maybe you guys are aware, can you talk to Lonnie about the
Yeah, we're gonna
issue?
bring that up in closed session on
Okay.
our council meeting. Yeah. We're good? All right, meeting adjourned.